Last year, more people chose Trinity Health System for cancer care than any hospital in the region. But it's not just how many cancer patients we see that makes a difference. It's how many we send home to their families. And isn't that what really matters? Tony Terramana Cancer Center at Trinity Health System.
Hey, welcome to Week 10 here at the Star Sportscast, brought to you by Damon's Grill and Sports Bar. Brent Sabusky, Fred Younce, the genius that is Fred Younce.
Did you almost forget my name?
Oh, dude, yeah, I did. I admit. I'm old. I'm old. I had a quick little brain cramp, which I have a lot of. When you have a 17-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son, you have a lot of brain cramps.
You just have to call him the fat guy.
Something to look forward to. Oh, excuse me, my daughter's almost 18. Sorry.
If you haven't noticed, she's off camera telling Dad, giving him the death stare.
Yeah, I've had that death stare like 500 times this week alone, so we're good. All right,
so football, right?
Week 10. It's only seemed like 10 weeks ago. We started about week 1, so life's good. Yeah. Unbelievable. Oh, here at Big Red's coming off a monstrous win. You were on the field watching that mess, watching that just complete domination of Massillon.
Absolutely. This defense, and we've talked about it week in and week out, is phenomenal and it's getting better. It's getting better. And what was so nice to see against a team like Massillon, who we all know is pretty talented.
Yeah.
And I read some point today that their quarterback's doing an Under Armour junior thing come at the end of the year combine. So he did nothing against his defense. The corners were up tight on the receivers. They couldn't get free. The defensive line, I mean, House just took a handoff.
When's the last time you saw that? Seriously, that?
I've never seen a defense as good, and I was never quick enough to get off the line like that.
So. We noticed.
Run stuffer.
That's
right.
Casey Hampton, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Well,
genius?
I mean, we're talking about Big Red playing an O'Hare team that took a beating from Buffalo St. Joe's a few weeks ago. Big Red's on a high. They're looking playoffs. Even with a hangover, they probably win by 4 touchdowns. I mean, this is...
But it's just a nice... Reed will be able to get his second, third, and 14 guys in and be ready for the first round of playoffs.
He's gonna get some more snaps for his younger kids, and it's going to be a bad football game.
Sweet. Short and sweet. All right, the fun one.
Wait,
one of the fun ones.
We missed something from last week.
Hey, Reno had number 300, but I didn't... Did I say that out loud?
I don't know.
I didn't say that. We're number 3. Congratulations, Coach. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
All right, Creek at Edison. Now, let me guess what Andrew Conner is telling his Indian Creek football team. Boys, remember last year? Remember what we did to Edison in Week 10? We knocked them out of the playoffs by beating them. So guess what they want to do to us this week? Guess what Mike McKenzie's telling his Edison team about Indian Creek? Boys, remember what Indian Creek did to us last year? We have a chance to do that to them. Rivalry game, Route 43 game. You're going to be there.
Yeah, I'm excited about being at this one. For Creek, beyond the fact that they knocked Edison out of the playoff from getting in the playoffs last year, Creek has 3 things on the line. A, they play for that traveling trophy with Edison. If they win it this year, they retire the one they're using right now. So that's big for these seniors. They've never lost to Edison. Creek, again, if they win, they take share of their first Buckeye 8 crown. They've never had one before. They'll have at least the tie for it with a win. More than likely it's a tie because the other 2 teams they're tied with should roll on the teams they play, St. C and Martins Ferry. And playoffs. I mean, yeah.
I'm already not doing it again.
Creek gets in. They're sitting at 6th. It's not guaranteed, but a lot of bad things will have to happen if they win for them to not get in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a big year. They've never been to the playoffs since 1997 was the last time Creek got into playoffs. So they have a lot on the line today or Friday.
Someone read before he came. He got facts, not just opinion. Facts. Very nice.
Talking to Connor, he lets me know what's going on.
And then when we look at the Edison flip side here, this is a team that's very Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, I got to watch a little bit of them against Bel Air last Saturday, and they looked really good for the first half. But as we all know, Bel Air came back in the second half. Yeah. And a lot of the issues are with defense at points. Although I did see a little differentiation between, they showed a nickel defense with a 4-man front, unlike what we've seen the 3-man front most of the year. So we'll see how they adjust because Indian Creek, they can sling it and they can run it. So pick your poison.
This is going to be fun. Now we have another game with playoff implications in Toronto. Final game at the current 81-year-old, what used to be called the Riverside Stadium, now also housing Clark Hinkle Field. That's going to find the wrecking ball come next month, and then they'll have a new stadium come August on the same site, but a new stadium, new clubhouse, new locker rooms, new everything. Toronto 6-3. They need to win to get to the playoffs. Madonna's 5-3. They need to win to have a chance to host a playoff game. You're going to be at this one.
I will be at this one. The wrecking ball at Clark Hinkle Field. So they're going to have Aaron Thompson just run through the walls.
Nice.
It's week 10. We know what these teams want to do.
Are you going to block for them?
I would if they would let me.
Okay.
I thought they have pads my size anymore. At least a tight shirt. So, you got to get those Nike Pro Combat. But in this case, we know what these teams are going to do at this point in the season.
Yeah.
Toronto's going to run the football. Madonna's got Ross Comas orchestrating that offense. Now, which team is going to be able to score the more points in that regard? What I'm worried about is Toronto gave up, 26 to 100 last
36.
week? 36.
52-36.
And that's a team that shouldn't be scoring 36, gentlemen. No offense to Toronto, but you have to really ratchet down against a Madonna team that's a lot more potent than 100 is.
Yep. And a big factor for Toronto coming into this game, as I talked to Meek yesterday, they have 36 kids on their roster. 12 of them weren't dressed last week. They only had 24 kids in uniform last week. He said pretty much the entire injured reserve is all on day-to-day. We'll have to see if he can get some of those kids back. They're going to make some plays. It's going to be an exciting environment. I mean, obviously playoff implications. They're sending out Clark Hinkle. I mean, it's going to come down to the line of Toronto, the skill players of Madonna. And Toronto's running game, if 4 different kids have hit 100 yards, that means your line is pretty good if that many different kids can have big games. So we're going to have to see who comes out on top. It's going to be exciting.
That place should be packed. I hope it doesn't rain and the place is packed. That'd be a really nice atmosphere.
I'm hearing snow this weekend.
That's Saturday. We care about Friday.
Good. I don't want to be.
All right. Before we have 1, 2, if I can count 5 more games, we're going to bring in Melissa from Damon's.
Hi guys.
Hi, Melissa. How is you?
I am great. How are you guys?
Always awesome.
Oh,
Good.
we're good.
So we're talking about the big matchups this week, huh?
Yeah, there's a couple good ones. Yep.
Good. Well, we want to say thank you for everybody, and we appreciate everybody coming in. And we just want to remind everyone they can still bring in their football tickets to get $2 off their lunch and dinner entrees. And then, unfortunately, with the cold weather coming up, like that you just mentioned, we do have some homemade soups during the week. So make sure they can come in and get warmed up, and some special dinners, dinner specials and lunch specials.
We do like lunch specials. We do like lunch specials.
Yeah, lunch specials.
We like lunch specials.
And don't forget our happy hour. We have it Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., both here in the bar and in the clubhouse. So,
4-hour happy hour.
Yep, take advantage of it.
I like
Come
happy
hours.
Oh, you guys are so bad. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Beer is food.
Never mind. You're out of college.
Did you say that you don't like soup? So last week he told me he did like apple pie, and you don't like soup.
I eat cream of mushroom, nice thick cream of mushroom. That's it.
What's wrong with you people? This is starting to scare me.
Oh, Mr. Comic Book.
It's not our fault. We don't eat everything.
Exactly.
Only what you put in front of me.
I feel sorry for your wife. I feel sorry for your wife. It's not close. By the way, happy birthday to your wife.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Aaron, a couple of days ago.
Okay. East Liverpool, we're 2-0-8 teams. Last game at Jimmy Carey. Jimmy Carey's 76-year-old stadium has had, I think, 8 state championships of teams have played in that stadium over the years. Obviously, Weir's had a struggle. Liverpool's had its struggles. They're both looking at it as a chance to win a football game. That's just the bottom line. And who knows? Who knows?
It's a war of attrition.
It is.
But I always felt that every team that practices and really puts the work in deserves a win. And one of these teams are going to come out with a win. And they will deserve it when it's all said and done. The question is, who's going to do it and how are they going to do it?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we see different processes with the two teams of how they've approached this season. I think with Weir, you're kind of looking at the big emotion of the Jimmy Carey,
right,
and all that. So we'll see if they can really rally behind that and take out the Potters.
Yeah, like you said, Weir's going to have the emotion of the last game of Jimmy Carey. I think what East Liverpool has is probably a speed advantage.
Yeah, with Tompkins.
Tompkins provides a weapon that I don't know that Weir can counter, and it might actually come. Football's a team sport. It might actually come down to who's got that one kid that can make the play, and unfortunately for Weir, I think East Liverpool's got that kid.
I agree with that. All right, we're going to across south of the river, down to Brook at JM. This should be pretty simple. Brooke has found his running game. Faulkner ran for like 2-something on 7 carries against Weir last week. Brooks playing really well, obviously. I mean, they're playing really well. They got into a rhythm. They're playing good football. They should take care of the jam thing this week and be 5-4 heading into next week's game with Morgantown. This should be pretty simple, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, a hot Brook team playing a bad John Marshall team. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that one out. So,
I was looking at the schedule, and what impressed me is after that really horrendous start from Brook, they've won 4 out of their last 6 games.
Yeah, they're playing good football.
It's a really good coaching job being done down there.
Really good football. A little bit further, a little bit more on the same lines of where we're going to West Virginia. Oakland and Magnolia. Oakland's coming off a really nice win against Catholic Central. Magnolia's coming off a nice win on the road against Barnesville, which pretty much knocked Barnesville out of the playoffs more than likely. Oakland has a chance to finish 9-1. I'm not sure that's going to be good enough to get them a home game in the playoffs, but they're playing who they need to play. They're beating who they need to beat. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit slower turf down in Magnolia than it was at Harding. But what do you think? Oakland's playing good football with that Hissom kid and the McDowell kid and the Davis kid and the Steed kid.
Well, Hissom proved the point we've been talking about. Don't kick to him.
Don't kick to him.
Kick to him once, 64-yard punt return for a touchdown. Obviously, McDowell is a beast. He's a hard kid to handle, running the ball from the quarterback slot. They're very powerful. Again, they have to be careful, though, because a loss here could knock them down far enough to fall out of the playoffs, I believe. I know they're below where they are on the road as of right now. They can't afford to lose a game to Magnolia. They need this win, and they definitely want to go into the playoffs hot. Magnolia is not obviously the team we saw last year, but they're still a solid football team. Like you said, they beat a very good Barnesville team.
Yeah, they're 4-4.
Ended their playoff hopes. They would love to do the same to Oak Glen this weekend.
Well, what's interesting about Magnolia playing Barnesville is a big physical football team. That's what they brand themselves as. And guess what Oak Glen is?
A big physical football
team. So we know that Magnolia will come in and bang some heads with them, and we'll see if McDowell and Davis and that stable of runners that you just mentioned, if they can actually counteract it, unlike Barnesville.
Well, you just have to like what Oakland's doing. I mean, you just have to like the confidence coming into the game.
You can only beat who they put in front of you.
Yeah, and they've taken care of that. Other than the Creek game, which Creek handled pretty good, Oakland's taken care of business and done it very, very, very well. All right, this one's an interesting game. Buckeye at Harrison. If they play, you have 2 of the best runners in the valley going head-to-head, in Justin Deere from Buckeye and Martise Hython from Harrison. Martise ran for 300-plus last week against UL. Jocelyn sat on the sidelines with a shoulder injury and watched Buckeye just get train wrecked by Indian Creek. And if there was ever you were there, but if you've ever seen a game where momentum was clearly on one side of the field from the opening kickoff, it was that game. Now, what Buckeyes got to do, obviously, is just kind of let it go and see if they can get this thing righted for Friday night, going to Caddis, taking on Harrison Central.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you would love to see the battle of Hython and Deere. Buckeye local, they have to put – we've been talking about having to put the close losses behind them. They have to put behind them a game that literally on the first hit of the opening kickoff, the whole game went wrong for them. Yeah. They're going to have to forget that, have a short memory, and play a very good Harrison Central team that has found very good balance with the return of Rasheed Mitchell.
Yep. Yeah, Mitchell's a huge key to this game because he's just putting up numbers. I mean, I know Coach Kropka said previously if they had him all year, and that's no slight against Miser because I thought he played really well as a sophomore quarterback, but it's just a different dimension that you can't really game plan for. And I haven't got to talk to Coach Barsh yet, so we don't know an update on the running game. And it's not just Deere. You said Stock was injured.
Stock was out.
So that's your top 3 rushers right there. That's a tough game to bounce back from against Indian Creek, and it's at the last senior day at Harrison Central. So
and Buckeye was just, Kemp threw 3 passes, 3 for touchdown. They're down 20-0. So your running game means nothing. It's just kind of hard. All right, Catholic Central is taking on La Brea on a game that's been moved from Friday night at La Brea. They're playing Saturday at noon at Molenkoff Stadium. They're going from a mud field that La Brea said was unplayable. Coach Daly got a phone call yesterday to a turf field. You kind of got to like Central right now on the turf. They played really well last week against Oakland. A couple little hiccups, but they're in a rhythm that I think Coach Daly's been looking for, and I think they found it.
You're looking at me and not the winner.
No,
over there?
He can go last.
The guy that's life's all about winning, because he played on a championship team.
Champion.
I know he's the
only one on at the table.
All right. So in discussing this game, what we're getting to the point with Central that it's fantastic that they're actually clicking. Brenton Colabella, 308 yards, two touchdowns, and he was like 14 for 20 or whatnot last week. So it's nice to see that passing game finally going the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean, they're clicking, and if I'm LeBray, I would have said, please let us play in the mud. It's your stadium. Find a way, because on the turf, it's definitely advantage Central, especially a LeBray team that gave up 50 last week. I mean, you got to like what Central's doing right now. They're showing a lot of improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a lot of really good things. Well, that's done for Week 10. Like a moron, I forgot to write down the person's name who won the trivia contest from last week, so I'm an idiot. I forgot.
Congratulations. Nobody.
Congratulations.
Somebody.
We'll get to you somehow.
You that guy.
You, that guy right there. This week's question, what number did Coach Sackhouse just win for his total at Big Red? See you next week.